Pillion 2025. This was awesome. I hadn't seen the trailer and I knew nothing about it except that it was probably biker related. So I was thrilled to discover it's another LGBTQIA plus themed film. That's not a spoiler. It's clear from the start. It stars Harry Melling as Colin, Alexander Sarsgaard as Ray, Leslie Sharp as Peggy, and Douglas Hodge as Pete. Pete and Peggy are Colin's mum and dad. And there's a few other characters. There's Jake Shears playing Kevin, uh, Paul Dallas playing the human puppy. Anthony Welsh is Darren, and Maggie, who plays Rosie, who is Ray's Rottweiler. Ah, what a beautiful film. So it's based on the novel Box Hill. Not aware of that before. It's by Adam Mars Jones, 2020 film. Oh, sorry, novel, book. And so it came out during the pandemic, but I haven't read books for years, sadly. So, I uh, and to start with, I thought it's probably because of the gold spot before that. Um, I thought it was in the north of England, but it's set in southeast London, probably Bromley, and that reminds me of Pride, which I really have to review sometime. Pride 2014. Um, I know from um, readers on Thread that this is probably categorized as MM themed. That's men loving men, I guess, MLM. Also, there is a BDSM angle. There's quite a bit of that. So, if that needs a content warning, take this notice to stop. I mean, it isn't the main theme of the film, and I've seen, well, saw 50 Grays of Shades of Grey sometime, all that series, but this was interesting, with its whips and chains and hand grenades. Not okay, not the hand grenades, but there's a couple of scenes that I found gross. Because mainly I catching it's bodily fluid. It's catching someone's spit in your mouth. Don't like stuff like that. So that's you for me. But since I'm not particularly interested in sex as a whole, with me being ace, demi-ace, it mainly I just find it really interesting vicariously. So, yeah, Colin meets Ray in a pub, and somehow they arrange a dog walk. They arranged to meet up, a dog walking rendezvous, I would say, in what I think it's a British town centre. I think it's Bromley. Um, and Ray asks Colin, "Do you give?" They go down a little back alley. Figuratively, but no, I mean not. No, I mean meta. No, whatever. Back alley between shops. That's what I mean. Before you get the wrong idea. Although, so anyway, um, the there's a Colin says because he shows a picture to I think I don't know if his counsellor or a friend or someone who is surprised by this guy that Colin has ensnared. I mean, it's Alex Sarsgaard, and Colin explains he has an aptitude for devotion. Um, Now, only later do, constraints I mean, he says he's up for anything, but constraints and provisos appear on the list because he's on quite the learning curve. And Colin's parents are really sweet. To have parents like that, gosh, it brings a tear to your eye if you're LGBTQIA+, and your parents aren't anything except 100% supportive. And Colin's parents very much are. Um, they're happy for their son, and they want to meet his new boyfriend. And he says, "Well, it's not necessarily a boyfriend. I mean, he's dated a little." Um, and Ray is so dismissive. I mean, considering I saw the other day, um, I was reviewing Christie and all the domestic violence. I mean, the violence, it's absolutely awful in that film. Now, this is a different level. It's not, I don't think, let's say, um, I mean, it's probably quite, I mean, it will happen in gay culture in any field, whether cis and straight or LGBTQIA plus. There are people who abuse others and who are coercive controllers and everything. But that isn't. It's right. How to explain this? Ray has exacting standards, and because he's such a good looker, he sets the rules for what goes and what doesn't go. And Colin is consenting adult and accepts it all. And he eventually he is on this learning curve. He learns where the limits are, and he doesn't want to be um, a pushover. He doesn't want to become a doormat. And Ray moves with how Colin, with some. I mean, he doesn't move straight away. I mean, that's the thing. Is this is where it's complicated, and I don't want to stray into explaining too much. I mean, I won't explain obviously what happens later on in the film, but I would say that Colin's mum Peggy is unwell. It's clear she's got a shaved head, and she's undergoing chemotherapy, and she wants the best for her son. She wants him looking after, and she doesn't want him to be a pillion. I guess that's where the title is, or be a doormat, or be something totally out of control. I mean, when I was a teenager, I rode pillion on some friends' bikes, and I know if they want to do a ton on those scary Welsh roads, they will do a ton. And I remember my dad warning me, did I want to um, end up completely unable to move? You know, that kind of thing. If I end up in a really severe crash, that put me off. Going a ton on the back of a bike that you have no control over, someone else is in charge. That it's scary. So that's a pillion. Um, I think Colin does realise. I mean, his mum really makes probably helps him realise. I mean, to start with, um, Peggy and Peggy and Pete invite Ray round for a meal, and Ray doesn't want to come. He's like, no, that's not happening. I mean, you know, Colin says to him, "My parents really want to meet you," and Ray says, "No." we met, the day that, outside their home, they said, "Oh, it's lovely to meet you," and, ride safely. You have got a helmet for, Colin, haven't you? Not letting him get on the bike unless you've got a helmet," and he says, "Of course I got a helmet." There's a scene later on where, someone is riding without a lid, and lid really oh my gosh, I remember that from the bikie days in North Wales. I mean, Pillion bikie days in my case, but lid, you know what that means. I mean, don't want an it's just, it just gets visceral images in my head because there certainly were awful crashes on the streets. But anyway, I'm digressing. On the road to North Wales, they're pretty dangerous, and bikers do mad. Really, some of them are really. I guess some bikers are really reckless. I mean, of course, a lot of crashes are down to car drivers. But anyway, he meets a lot of the bikers. Oh, he says, "Oh, yeah, another thing." Peggy asking Ray, "Where are you from? You don't sound like you're local." Bromley. I'm from Orpington." "Oh, I'm sure Colin will be fine in Orpington." It's like, I mean, the humour is just sort of deadpan, but pretty awesome. I mean, it wasn't really belly laughs, but there was a lot about it that I just so loved. And seeing oh gosh, there's this scene that appears in the trailer where um, Ray, being really strong and tall, massive man mountain, um, sort of gets Colin in a gymnastic move, pulls him up into the air where Colin is shrieking in pain. Maybe not in pain, but either bewilderment. I don't know, but I mean, just you can see it in the trailer anyway, and just seeing all these bikers with studs and some well, gimp masks and all this stuff that applies. It's um it's it's refreshingly different from all of the films that I've seen recently. It's just interesting to see something that is so completely in your face LGBTQIA plus and BDSM and just full on challenging the boundaries of those people who can't handle anything other than cis and straight. And they even treat the word cis as a slur. I mean, I don't know. I mean, non trans is another way of putting that word, but um, they will argue that LGBTQIA plus is being forced down their throats. But no, there's warnings. This is very clear. This, if you don't like anything to do with the culture that I mention, do not watch this film. I mean, I've the audience were mainly good. There was a couple of people talking until someone assertively said, "Take the conversation out," or "How about leaving your conversation till after the film?" I mean, gee, some people just. I mean, there was a couple who came in late anyway and flashing their mobiles like torches to find their seat and then talking, and that's not on. But Um, that was I mean, it was a distraction, but kudos to the audience member at the front who said, um, you know, who assertively asked them to stop politely, and they did for most of the film, thankfully. So anyway, there's poignancy, there's sadness, there's surprise, there's disappointment, there's a lot in this film. Um, Colin shaves his head, and so there's a scene where his mum says, "Oh, don't tell me you're doing that for in solidarity, so I feel better." But, there's just so much, um, feeling in this film. I felt joyous and sad at times in this film, but I loved it. Now I'm going to score it 9.25 out of 10. So I'd love to know what you think. You've um, if you've seen this film, please leave a comment. Respectful comments only going to be accepted. Constructive criticism, that sort of stuff, all welcome. Um, yeah, if you like this review, please hit the like. Please boop that like button. Thanks for watching. Thanks if you subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate it. Um, and hit that notification button. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.